All of the Austen children were literary, with Jane being the most prolific. Jane was in her early teens when she started on her first piece of work, known as Juvenilia. Jane was the second daughter and seventh child out of 8, born to Reverend James Austen and Cassandra Lee Austen. Northanger Abbey was originally entitled Susan. The revised manuscript was sold to a publisher in London for £10, but was never published. Jane's brother bought the book back for the same amount 14 years later. Jane Austen died in 1817 at 41 from an ailment no one has truly identified. She is buried in Winchester Cathedral, and her brother James composed the epitaph, which mentions extraordinary endowments of her mind, but not her writing. Jane Austen wrote 6 major novels, including Sense and Sensibility, Pride and Prejudice, Mansfield Park, Emma, Northanger Abbey, and Persuasion. She also started another novel called Sanditon, but died before she was able to complete it. Jane Austen wrote a short epistolary novel called Lady Susan, described by some as her most ambitious and sophisticated work. A biographer of Austen mentioned that the heroine of the novel was a sexual predator who uses her intelligence and charm to manipulate, betray, and abuse her victims. Pride and Prejudice was originally entitled First Impressions. Jane's father offered the book to a publisher, Thomas Cadell, in 1797, but was turned down. Thank you. Using a pseudonym, Alison Lady, a play on Austen's original nom de plume, A Lady, British author David Lassman sent the opening chapters from some of Austen's most famous works to major publishers. The titles were changed and very little of the original text was modified. The famous opening sentence from Pride and Prejudice was left untouched. The vast majority of publishers rejected the works from one of the world's most famous and greatest authors. The Juvenilia collection consists of 29 poems, stories, and plays that were bound in 3 notebooks entitled Volume the First, Volume the Second, and Volume the Third. In Northanger Abbey, Jane Austen used the term baseball, the first person to do so in print by almost 50 years.